news. The dawn of a new era of craft beer. We'll join in on the excitement in Robbinsdale for the opening of a new destination brewery. Plus, a recruiting push to fill jobs. We have a look at the fastest growing career fields in our region. But first, after months of renovation, anticipation builds for the opening of the Golden Valley Library.
We're very excited to see the kids come in.
12 News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. It's been closed for the past 4 months and the Golden Valley Library is about to reopen to the public after being renovated.
For the first time, we're seeing the improvements. Emily Ragoose brings us a sneak peek.
Added more space for people to spread out.
After 129 days and $1.4 million,
And some new artwork.
the Golden Valley Library renovation is complete.
I'm thrilled. And actually for me, I'm really excited the staff like it.
Ann Woodson Hicks, the administrative manager for Hennepin County Libraries, spearheaded the remodel. Some of the biggest changes? More open and more natural light with 3 walls removed and lower bookcases, plus LED lighting, an expanded children's area, and outlets nearly anywhere you can sit.
The biggest challenges, I think, were working with the floor. We had to trench the floor to get power and data into it so that we could pull the computers away from the walls.
The improvements were based on what the staff saw a need for.
They really did just about everything that we had suggested.
Mary Anderson is the senior librarian.
It had been, very crowded.
On Thursday, she gave Hennepin County Commissioner Linda Higgins and 12 News a private tour.
This is a lot more room for the many children that we have.
Take a look at the before and after. The children's area was crammed into a small area. Now it takes up an entire wing of the library.
Play is one of the best ways kids learn.
Anderson is anxiously awaiting opening day.
We're very excited to see the kids come in. So it's interesting to see what catches their eye first, but usually it's bing, bing, bing all over.
Anderson is also excited to catch up with regular visitors and show them everything that's new.
It's just going to be more usable, more comfortable for people, and just more room to spread out and enjoy.
In Golden Valley, Emily Ragoose, 12 News.
The library opens to the public on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. The staff is also gearing up for a new event, Golden Valley Reads, encouraging the community to read the same book and then have a discussion with the author.
When the Metro Blue Line extension is up and running in 2021, Golden Valley will have 2 light rail stations on the city's east side. But city officials want to make sure those stations are easily accessible for residents in other parts of the city. This week, the Golden Valley City Council approved a letter that outlines the city's desire for additional transit to complement the light rail line. That additional transit could come in the form of a bus circulator that travels throughout the city or bus rapid transit service along Highway 55. The city's letter will go to officials at Hennepin County, Metro Transit, MnDOT, and the Metropolitan Council. Golden Valley's municipal consent vote on the Metro Blue Line will happen on February 16th. In other cities, public hearings and open houses on light rail are fast approaching. In Brooklyn Park, there's a public hearing scheduled for Monday, January 25th at 7 p.m. In Crystal, the public is invited to see design plans for the Bass Lake Road Station. That too will take place on January 25th. It starts at 6:30 p.m. at the Crystal Community Center. And in Robbinsdale, the City Council approved 2 public hearings this week for light rail. One set for February 9th will look at the impact of light rail construction on Sohaki Park. Another set for February 16th will allow the public to comment on the overall project.
Minnesota's latest employment report shows job gains last month and an unemployment rate still significantly lower than the national rate. The state added 9,100 jobs in December, while the unemployment rate sits at 3.5%. Nationally, the December unemployment rate is at 5%. Some of the job gains in Minnesota have come in manufacturing. At Hennepin Technical College in Brooklyn Park, they are recruiting students interested in precision manufacturing. It's a growing career field that produces small, precise parts for the medical device and aerospace industries. Through a state grant, Hennepin Tech is offering candidates interested in precision manufacturing tuition-free training. It's a career that pays between $15 to $17 an hour to start, but wages often nearly double that within 3 to 4 years.
We're looking for individuals that we can track into these career fields who are currently unemployed, underemployed, dislocated workers, individuals who are looking for that career that they can get into for the next 25, 30 years that can really support their family.
Hennepin Technical College is looking for more than 40 students to take part in the training program this spring. If you'd like more information, visit empowered.info.
The numbers are in, and 2015 will go down as one of the best years on record for home sales. The Twin Cities Metro saw more than 56,000 home sales. Only 2004 and 2005, the time of the housing bubble, had a higher volume of sales. The median sales price rose 7% to $220,000. The biggest movers here in the Northwest Metro were the Brooklyns. Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center saw median sales prices rise 11%. The next closest was Robbinsdale, which rose 10%. Well, this upcoming weekend is one that local craft beer lovers have been waiting for.
That's right. Wicked Wort Brewing Company in Robbinsdale will officially open its doors Friday at 4 p.m. But today, owners and community members celebrated the ribbon cutting for the destination brewery. And that's where we find reporter Shannon Slatton, who's out there live. Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Alex and Delane. Very exciting atmosphere here at the Wicked Wort Brewing Company in downtown Robbinsdale. You can see folks are standing by just waiting to cut the ribbon and officially get ready for opening. It will be very exciting around here this time tomorrow, Friday at 4 o'clock. That's when the doors will open. That's Friday at 4 o'clock. Now, what's really cool is when you come inside, you can see right down into the belly of the beast where the magic actually happens. And we spoke with Stephen Carlisle a little bit earlier today just about what happens down there. All right, so the guys are making a mess back here. What are they doing?
They are cleaning up a fermenter after a brew day. They had a brew day today. They're cleaning up the mess. And they sent the wort into the last fermenter, I believe. And it's getting ready to make beer.
All right, so what do you have back here behind us?
So we've got a couple IPAs, we've got a pale ale, and we got another one that is a Birdtown blonde.
All right, so you think that's going to be a pretty good seller too?
I think that's going to be a good one.
Describe it, what's it like?
It's really easy drinking. It's not real hoppy. It's, you know, for an old guy like me, it's pretty tasty. So, yeah, I like it.
All right, so if somebody's thinking about coming out this weekend, what do you say?
I say we've got 4 on tap for tomorrow, and we'll have 2 more the next day. And we're going to have a wide variety for everybody.
And if you are coming out this weekend, this is what you need to know. You need to be 21 just to get inside the door, so they will be checking IDs at the door. No growlers will be for sale this weekend, but as Steve mentioned, there will be 4 beer ready to go. And finally, a very limited menu here, mainly snacks and bar food. However, as you know, there's 2 great restaurants right across the street, and they will be able to deliver food here, or you can walk right across the street and get it. So a very nice setup here, and they are anticipating a pretty big crowd here in downtown Robbinsdale. Live in Robbinsdale, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
All right, fun to see the new place. Thanks so much, Shannon. Coming up, we head to Providence Academy to meet this week's standout student.
Then later in sports, the Brooklyn Center boys basketball team bounces back after facing some of the state's top teams in the past week. We catch up with the Centaurs.
But first, still chilly, but the sunshine returns on Friday. We'll be right back. A reminder that Cooper High School's 4th annual variety show fundraiser is Friday evening, hoping to fill the seats here. This year's show is called In the Mix, and it'll include jazz, tap dance, hip hop, and original student compositions. The performances raise money for a new sound system for the school's auditorium. The show starts at 7 p.m. on Friday evening with a silent auction beforehand. Tickets are $8 for adults, $6 for students and seniors. Today's standout student from Providence Academy is familiar with the stage.
Colette McCarthy is a member of the school orchestra, and reporter Sonia Goins has more on this National Honor Society student.
Colette McCarthy is a junior at Providence Academy. She prefers to be called Coco. While she was attentive in her religion class, science is really her thing. Biology and chemistry top her list.
I like the science programs a lot here because I like getting hands-on experience and like seeing how things work.
Coco is also an athlete. She's a forward on the basketball team, and she runs track and is a leader on her soccer team.
I was recently elected captain for the 2016-17 season.
Music is also a passion.
I play viola, and I've been playing that since first grade.
Coco has a lot of drive and determination.
To see people excel makes me want to excel.
She says she's competitive, a skill that helps her in all areas of her life.
I have friends that maybe they'll get an A and I'll get a B, and I'll be like, well, I'm going to work hard so I can get an A too.
The sky's the limit for Coco. After college, she wants to join the military.
Working for the Air Force as a technician, or maybe building planes one day and flying them, just kind of serving our country, and that would be nice.
In Plymouth, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
And McCarthy wants to attend the U.S. Air Force Academy after she graduates. Well, coming up, the latest on the search for a missing medallion in Plymouth.
But first in sports, we are dropping a line with Terry Tuma for his weekly ice fishing tip. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back.
Welcome back. John's here now with sports.
We're talking Maple Grove boys basketball. After a tough loss to Osseo, they have really rebounded here.
Come back with 3 nice wins since then. It has been a busy past week for the Maple Grove boys basketball team. The Crimson played its 4th game in 6 days Wednesday when the Crimson hosted Rogers. Some Osseo Maple Grove youth players out to greet the varsity before the game. To the highlights, Brad Davison passes ahead to Reed Nico for the dunk and foul. Crimson lead early 13-7. The Royals' Alan Wilson curls around for a 3-pointer to keep his team within striking distance. Still in the first half, it's Davison to the 6'10 Nico again for the hoop and foul. He leads Maple Grove in scoring with 22 points. Final seconds of the first half, Bubba Horton gets to a loose ball and tosses in about a 35-footer to beat the buzzer. Horton, that's 9 points in the game. Maple Grove leads 41-28 at halftime. Second half, Teron Pickford with the steal in the backcourt. They'll miss the layup, but Nico is there to clean up with the jam. Maple Grove leads by a dozen. Wilson drives the lane and scored 2 more of his 14 points, but Rogers can't cut the deficit to under 10. Davison scores 21 points for Maple Grove as the Crimson win their 3rd straight. 84-60 is the final. Maple Grove is at Park Center Friday night. The Brooklyn Center boys basketball team has not had an easy schedule, especially lately. As Jay Wilcox reports, records can be deceiving.
At first glance, Brooklyn Center's 8-6 record looks ordinary, but they may be the only team that has played all 4 of the current #1 ranked teams in each class. That includes 3 straight games against top-rated squads last week and early this week when they faced De La Salle, St. Croix Lutheran, and Hopkins.
You know, having those big 3 games of De La Salle, St. Croix, and Hopkins back-to-back, you know, it gave us a little, like, inspiration because, you know, we can hang with those teams. And, you know, as a young team we can only get better.
The Centaurs nearly upended longtime rival De La Salle, losing on a last-second 3-pointer. This is a team with talent, and they've seen a lot of good things.
I feel like we playing a great season, but a lot of competition, and still got a lot of things to work on.
I say we've been playing good. Like, we still got to work on things. We try to still keep each other together so that we can just have our defense so tight.
The Centaurs have good young players, too, which has made things more competitive.
The seniors, we're used to, well, we're seniors, so it's our time. Well, we have a couple 8th graders who are starting, you know, in that rotation, and a 9th grader, and a couple other kids, young kids that came in, and they weren't going to just concede playing time. Once the seniors accepted the 8th graders almost as peers, as teammates, it's really made us a lot better, and our practices have been pretty competitive.
First-year head coach Matt McAllister has a large staff with many volunteer coaches who help with more than X's and O's.
So we have an academic coordinator. We have scouting reports for every game. That takes a lot of time. You know, so we have one guy that just coordinates that. We have a fundraising coordinator. So we need new jerseys. We just need things that I want these young men to have all the same advantages that somebody at Hopkins or Minnetonka would have.
Their record won't dazzle, but don't be surprised if Brooklyn Center makes some noise at playoff time. Jay Wilcox, 12 Sports.
The Centaurs beat Holy Angels Tuesday to snap their 3-game losing streak to the 3 #1 teams. They also have games Thursday and Friday nights this week. Time again for this week's Channel 12 fishing tip. Today, Terry Tuma talks about the need to have a variety of lures on hand for your next trip out on the ice.
I just got off a lake fishing for bluegills, and what I want to really relate to all of our ice fishermen is that what really makes it, we have to keep an open mind. For instance, one day it was strictly a waxworm bite. The second day you could not even buy a bite on a waxworm. It was silver wigglers. Here again, we've got to keep experimenting with the size of your lures, the colors, the jigging action. And talking about jigging action, what I did on the second day when we had the tougher bite, I would drop that lure down into that water column. I would let it fall all the way to the bottom, and then actually what I call pound bottom is what you're doing is when that lure hits the bottom, you're just jigging up off the bottom and pounding the bottom, and what you're doing now is creating a lot of commotion on the bottom, which will draw fish in. It's something we have to relate to. Vary your jigging action, not just lift and drop, lift and drop. There's a lot more to it in catching bluegills or any winter fish for that matter. Be sure to tune in next week for another tip.
Thanks, Terry, and that's it for sports.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Still ahead, a $250 prize on the line in Plymouth.
We'll clue you in when we come back. Registration is now underway to volunteer for the Birdtown Half Marathon. And listen to this. Rumor has it that Robbinsdale Mayor Regan Murphy will buy you a Wicked Wort beer if you volunteer. For more information on volunteering, visit thebirdtown.com. The Birdtown Half Marathon, 8K, 4K, and Little Birdie Fun Run races all take place Saturday, May 21st. Well, after 2 clues, Plymouth's fire and ice medallion hunt is heating up.
We are on to clue number 3, and here it is. It reads, on your trek, you'll pass aid for your bike, a spot to sit and relax after the long hike. Keep heading up the trail, you're not too far. Here lies the treasure, but don't bring your car. Again, that is clue number 3. You will find all the clues on the City of Plymouth's website. The medallion is hidden on city property. The Plymouth resident who finds it receives a $250 prize. Some clever clues over there in Plymouth. I feel like they've got to be getting closer if you're on that search,
It's
right?
Not too cold to go search
That's
this
right.
weekend.
This weekend. Perfect time to do it. That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
And we'll see you tomorrow.